presentations, and after each of the presentations, there'll be time for a couple of questions. And then at the end, we hope to have a little bit of roundtable so other people can express their thoughts. I want to make an announcement, and that is that we are videotaping, and you probably noticed when you checked in that you were asked to check on the sheet, is it okay for you to be videotaped? So if anyone has a problem with that, we'll arrange for them to sit behind the camera. We're going to put this video on our webpage. Is that where it's going?
YouTube.
Yeah. At your place, you will find a water bottle, a pen and notebook, a program, and handouts for the talks. And we'll jump right in with the first talk. Joanne Lee is going to talk to us about the very difficult task of the first class for an absolute beginner. And we're very fortunate to have her because she has 20 years of experience doing exactly that at Torrance Adult School. So, Joanne, will you come up and give us your presentation?
Thank you, everyone, and thank you for being here and for doing what you do, because it is quite important and makes a big difference in people's lives. Okay, so I'm going to share some thoughts on what to teach beginners and how to teach them. And you can follow along on your handout. Most of what I say will be on the handout, but not everything. Plus, at the end, there's a lot more on the handout with a list of resources that are available at the South University office and at this Torrance library. And there are also, to mention you, there are free books on the side there. There's 2 tables of books that are yours for the taking. So, what to teach on the first day? Okay, we need to teach something that the students need to know. And that is, they need to know how to introduce themselves. They need to know how to communicate their basic personal information, their name, address, and phone number, and so on. This may actually take several lessons, depending on how much your students already know. And if they already know this, you can go on to the next thing. And what would you use to teach them? You, of course, need the alphabet, the numbers, and you need to teach them language for class actions, like directions from the teachers. What materials could you use? You could have a paper with the alphabet in both upper and lowercase. You could have another page with the Arabic numbers, and the calendar will be helpful too. And you could have a picture of the directions you want to teach. And it would be really useful to have a picture dictionary. I might not reference the dictionary in this presentation, but you can use this in case they get beyond the 3 basic items in the beginning, and to have a beginning level textbook or workbook would be very useful for the same reason, and for future lessons. Well, there's a lot of guidelines, and there's some in your ESL resource book that's given to you when you're training. But I just want to emphasize one of these, because we don't have time to talk about this right now. But I want to emphasize that, you need to have the students practice in all communication modes. You need them to have to practice listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Preferably in that order. For example, you shouldn't ask the student to say something until you know that they understand. So the teacher can ask the student to point to the letter A before even asking to say the letter A. So the basic method that you can use to teach them, first of all, you need to know what they know and what they don't know, right? You're not going to teach them something they know already, it would be a waste of time. So you would challenge them or ask them to read the content. Then if they if needed, if they don't know all the content, then the teacher models the content. And the students usually repeat after you. They're really natural at mimicking. Okay, so first of all, listening. Students will be listening. The teacher says the content. The student can respond by either pointing, doing some action, body language, or verbally. And then to the point where they already know, understand what it is, then they can be speaking the content. And then they can practice with other students and with the teacher, of course. And once they get that, you can enlarge the content to other contexts. For example, if you're teaching the alphabet, you can go ahead and ask to spell something like their name. So you can really enlarge on adding content in other texts. And then last of all, you're reading or writing. So after they master listening and speaking or are pretty good at it, you can ask them to read it, and you ask them to write it. Different methods of reading and writing. I'm going to demonstrate this by using a simple demonstration using the alphabet. Of course, we're not just going to teach this first 7 letters, but this is for demonstration only. Thank you, Carol. She's my student. Give us a good hand, Carol. Students are also brave. You know, they're afraid of making mistakes, right? Like we are. So we want to make the students, make it as easy as possible for them. Gracias. So, Carol, can you read this?
B, C, D, E, F.
Okay, as you know, Carol needs to learn to say the alphabet in English. So, knowing this, then I will repeat in English for her, and she will repeat after me. So she's listening and also speaking at the same time. So it's not like you need to really divide all the different modes of communication, but you can combine them, of course. But remember to always have them listen first, instead of asking them to, when you're teaching that is. But in assessment, you will have to ask them to perform something. Okay, so Carol, hi, this is English, okay?
English.
A, B,
B,
C,
C,
D,
D,
E,
E,
F,
F,
G,
G.
Okay, now, normally, of course, you have to repeat it many times because she's a newbie, right? But we're going to have to skip for demonstration purposes. So the next thing I will do will be ask Carol to point out which letter I'm saying. Carol,
Okay.
what is E?
Is E.
Yay, very good. What is C?
C.
Very good. Okay, now Carol, it's your turn.
Okay. What is F?
F.
What is F?
Yeah. Okay, for example, that's good. So we ask them to do it, right? Okay. Now, if you're doing this online, you might not have the student point to it. You can use the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can ask Carol, what is D?
The number 4.
Excellent. Very good. Okay. So we'll have to move on because we have a lot to cover. Thank you, Carol.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna ask you to come up again. Okay, so the lesson plan for the first lesson could include introduction and greetings, names, total physical response, directions, actions, and students should understand directions that you give them, like read, spell, point, etc. Repeat the numbers, and so we can start them with phonics, especially for beginning students. It's really helpful. And then you have time at the end. You can play a game or have some fun. You can play Hangman, guess the number, or you can sing the ABC song. Okay, first of all, introductions and greetings. Okay, of course, you introduce yourself slowly. You say, hello, my name is Joanne Lee. I'm your teacher. I'm from the USA. You can show them a map. And we can practice this. With the students. See, my name is Joanne. Oh, I can ask Carol again. Carol, what's your name, Carol?
My name is Carol.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so Carol obviously knows this already. Okay. If somebody doesn't get it, you can use a drawing. Okay. You see, there's a woman and man. One's Anna and one's Bill. So you can point to them and say, "Hello, my name is Anna." Hi, Anna. My name is Bill. Nice to meet you, Bill. Nice to meet you too, Anna. So you can do it that way. I mean, so the dialogue I practiced was, my name is, what's your name? Hi, my name is, nice to meet you too. So of course you need to practice this a million times unless the student already knows it. Okay, I can say, hi Carol, my name's Joanne.
Hi, Carol. My name is Carol. Hi, Joanne. My name is Carol.
Thank you. Nice to meet you, Carol.
Nice to meet you, Joanne.
Very good. Okay. Then you can go on to, how do you spell your name? How do you spell that? Carol, how do you spell Carol? Spell. Okay, it's Joanne. Joanne is, okay, anyway, it's up there. I have to write it up. You write Joanne. Carol.
Okay. K-A-R-O-L.
Thank you. Okay, so she got the idea of spelling anyway. And then if that's really easy, you can go, where are you from? Where do you live? You can spell your country. It depends how advanced your student is. If they're really stuck at spelling their name with the correct alphabet, you might practice that. And you might practice spelling other things like other person's names. If you have a group of students, you can go around and let them ask each other. Okay, now, okay. Oh, Carol, you might as well stay here. Thanks. Okay, total physical response TPR stands for total physical response. That makes the student respond with body language instead of saying something or writing something, which is really nice for beginners because it takes the pressure off of them, really. And it's kind of fun too. And so I picked this from a beginning textbook. There are others from dictionaries or other beginning texts. So for purposes of demonstration, I'll just do the first 3 items. And you probably don't want to do the whole thing at once. You probably want to break it up depending on how advanced your students are. Okay, so it's the same kind of sequence. Listening first, the students listen, then they respond. Okay, listen first, they respond, and then they actually speak. Okay. And then we mix it up to assess them, see if they, got it. Okay, so we're doing. So I would first of all, I would demonstrate the actions, and I will also have a video or a paper with actions so they can actually see the pictures. Okay, so first one is look. Look. Okay. Next one is listen. Last one is point. Okay, I go demonstrate. Look at the flag. Listen. Point at the flag. Okay. Oh, then you ask the students to do it. So, Carol, look. Listen. Point. Good. We'll practice a few times, but for purpose of demonstration, we'll just move on. Okay. So, look. Good. You notice I asked her to do it first before I actually, to reinforce it. Okay. Listen. Good. Okay. Point. Excellent. Okay. Then I can mix it up a little. to see if she didn't memorize the order. Okay, point. Excellent, etc. You got the idea, right? Okay. And then, of course, you go on to have her speak it. You say, what am I doing? Look. Good. Okay, for example. Okay. Okay, then of course you would, oh sorry, I forgot to put my timer on. Someone have to time me, right? If I'm running over time, let me know. Okay, so of course you would teach the numbers, very essential. Okay, you do the same thing, ask you to read them, and then you kind of can demonstrate them. And they might know how to read it, but they might not really connect the numbers with the root numbers. So you can go using fingers, use clapping, 1, 2, etc. Okay, and then you would mix it up. Okay, so Carol, how many? 3. Yeah. Okay, and then you would practice with, you could practice with phone numbers, the calendar, addresses, prices, and count items you would. And then last of all, you could, after they got that, you could do the words, the number words, 1, 2, 3, etc. They could write them, you could dictate them, they could practice writing, etc. And then you will also do phonics, because it's really essential for beginners, especially if they don't know how to pronounce the English language, such as Carol, she didn't know how. Okay, so I will introduce the simplest phonics, which will be the consonants, because most of them only have one sound. That's most of the vowels. 1 minute? Are you kidding me? Okay, so we're using S and T. So you introduce sound, go S, T, and then you give examples, and then you test them to see if they know which is which, and then it's games. Okay, so there are many, many resources for beginners, okay, and I listed it out in the handout, okay, so I encourage you to look at them. I really encourage you to choose a integrated textbook because it has everything in it. Some of them have grammar, they have survival English skills, they have phonics, and some of them have TPR. So I'm sorry I'm running out of time. So you want more? We could do more TPR later or another time. So let me do this.
Q&A opportunity as well.
Oh yeah, it's Q&A right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone have a question for Joanne?
I do actually. Can I ask a question? I have wondered, are beginning students who may be undocumented, is anybody ever reluctant to give you an address? And I just had this question, is that ever intrusive that we ask them the address?
Okay, so when we do teaching phone numbers and addresses, we, first of all, don't give our own, we give fake ones. So they practice using fake numbers. You could write an address or phone number. And you could tell them, you don't need to write your own address. You just, just give a fake address, maybe the same street but different numbers.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Thanks.
Same thing with other personal items.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joanne.
Okay, that's it? That's the only question? Okay.
We'll come back for the roundtable.
Okay. Get off my
This talk is very relevant because we have people on the waiting list, including many beginners. We just had a big influx of students, so it's very relevant. The next presentation will be by Don Carter.